All right, welcome back. So here we are. We're going to be talking about the third step in the clear goal setting process. Once again, this is Gerald Rogers, founder of the Prosperity Summit, creator of the Live Big Breakthrough process, where we take entrepreneurs who are feeling stuck and frustrated in life and help them experience maximum growth in a very short amount of time so they're able to enjoy the prosperity that they deserve in their life. And this is one of the keys to be able to experience that prosperity. Number one, we talked about creating a clear vision, getting an idea of where you're headed and why it's so important to be there. Number two, getting leverage, being able to identify where you are really at in your life and to see the gap and to understand that now is the time for that to change and that you have no excuse, that now is the time for you to create new results in your life, and if you don't change, what will be the cost? So the third step is what I am most passionate about. Over the last several years, as I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs through my workshops and through personal coaching, I've realized that this is the number one block that holds people back from getting what they want. This is the reason why there's some people that just seem like anything they touch turns to gold, while other people it seems like no matter what they do, it turns to dust. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? How it seems like no matter what they try, it seems like whether it be a network marketing opportunity or a business or even whatever it might be, no matter how good the opportunity is, they still fall on their face over and over and over again. And this is really the key to changing that pattern if it's been a pattern for you in your life. And even if you have been a producer in the past, how this process will help you become a maximum impact producer, which is something that we teach. So you have a vision, you have leverage, engaging your subconscious. Now there's something that may be a new conversation to you, may not be, I don't know. But the subconscious is really a driving force behind your whole life. If you're not familiar with what the subconscious is, I want you to consider this for a moment. That the subconscious is really kind of operates like this diagram here. What the heck is that, you're wondering? So this is what we call an iceberg. What's above the top is what we call the conscious mind, right? So the conscious mind is what all of you are using right now to determine whether or not what I'm sharing with you will work for you or not. It's all the thoughts that you're aware of. It's all the communication, all the verbalization, everything that you understand and perceive with, your conscious mind. But this only accounts for about 10% of your mind. When we say that you only use 10% of your mind, it's not really that you only use 10% of your mind. You're actually always using 100% of your mind, but you're only conscious to about 10% of the thoughts that go on there. What is the driving force behind all our actions, though, is the unconscious or the subconscious mind. And this represents 90% of everything goes on. The subconscious, unconscious mind is what is responsible for all of your beliefs and your values, the emotions that you have. It also is what operates your heart and all the functions of your body. The subconscious mind is really the thing that makes the biggest difference. Now, what happens, and one of the number one reasons why most people fail to get what they want, is their conscious mind may set a goal. It may set a goal, say, to lose 30 pounds, and say that's a goal. But the unconscious belief is not in alignment with that. There's friction between what is believed in the unconscious and the subconscious and what is wanted by the conscious mind. And anytime there's that friction, it's kind of like if you were to take your car and you were to slam on the brake and at the same time pound down the gas pedal. What's going to happen? Have you ever felt like this, where you want something, I want to lose 30 pounds, but all of a sudden, you feel like you're driving with the brakes on? That's exactly what it's like when there's this friction or this misalignment between the unconscious beliefs and the conscious mind. So say, for instance, you want to lose 30 pounds consciously, but the unconscious belief is, hey, working out is hard, or working out is challenging, or that it's painful eating. There's no such thing as healthy, good tasting food. All healthy food is disgusting. And if those are the unconscious beliefs, then naturally, of course, there's going to be a battle between the will. Now, if you were to take this 90% and battle against the 10%, which do you think will win? So that's why when you look at what's going on here, the willpower is a conscious function. And this is why willpower will never be enough. Willpower will never be enough to drive you to accomplish your goals. Unless there's an alignment, unless the unconscious mind also is committed to the goal, then inevitably the willpower will fail. So if another belief of the unconscious mind was like, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve to be fat, or I don't deserve enough to be skinny, I'm not good enough to be skinny, or somehow a lot of times people that are experiencing challenges with overweight, the overweight problems are caused by this subconscious desire to protect themselves, and so it creates this extra layer of fat, which is protection for them. So when there's those unconscious beliefs and the conscious goals, unconscious mind will always win out. So great. What do we do about this? When you look at the goal that you've created, this vision that you have, here are some steps to go through to be able to create alignment between the two. When I talk about alignment, I like to use this analogy of like a hose, right? A fire hose. Now imagine for a moment you would take this hose and you were to kink it. What would happen to the water flow when it's kinked? Obviously, not much happens, right? Not much water flows out of that. But if you were to unkink it, all of a sudden, full force is able to come out, and that's basically what we're looking to create here for you in your life and your ability to tap into this inner well of power that you have to create the results you want. So, looking at this, let's get real practical. How do you create alignment with the unconscious and conscious mind? So, I want you to write a couple things down. The first is clarity is power. Clarity is what? Power! Thank you. Clarity is power. So to get clear on what your goals are, you need to write them down. Now there's a couple laws of the unconscious mind. A couple ways that you're able to speak to the language of the unconscious mind. First of all, the unconscious mind takes everything personal. Right? It takes everything personal. Anytime you're out like blaming or judging someone else, really your unconscious mind is taking that personally. So you make your goals a personal goal. Say I am, and make it personal. The second thing is your unconscious mind cannot process anything that is in the negative. So what that means is if you were to take a goal and say, I don't want to be in debt anymore, or I don't want to be poor, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. Anytime you say a goal like that, all of a sudden your unconscious mind is processing poverty. It's processing being broke. It's processing living paycheck to paycheck, and that's what it's being programmed to do. So your unconscious mind isn't able to process the negative. So to make this effective for you, you need to make it positive. So rather than being, I don't want to be in debt, you say, well, what do you want? What do you want for your goals? So if you've written down any goals that include don't want or anything that's in the negative, now's your chance to reframe it. So rather than being, I don't want to be in debt, I want to have abundance and prosperity and have an additional $10,000 every month of income. So whatever that might be, the unconscious mind is also driven by specific details. Think of it as just like this little computer that's operating in your mind. And when you give it a very specific input, then it gives you specific output and helps you achieve that. The other thing that's important about it is it always wants to be present. So if you were to set a goal, say in 1 year from now, or for me, like one of the goals I'm working on is I want to be able to run a marathon. So rather than having my mind think, all right, someday I'll be able to run a marathon, because anytime you plan in the future, all of a sudden your brain thinks, okay, it's not right now. And so in order to change that, you need to make it present. So rather than someday I'll be able to run a marathon and say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm able to enjoy being able to run a marathon. And then all of a sudden that brings it into our frame of reality. This is something I could literally talk about for 3 days, but I just want to condense it down to something that's useful. and meaningful for you so that you can actually apply it. So write down your goals in that form. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then be able to state that clearly and specifically and in terms that are measurable. All right, so that's one key, is writing down your goals. By writing and making sure that you are living in the rules of the unconscious, which I just shared, making sure that it's present, making sure that it's positive, making sure that it's powerful and specific, making sure that it is that it's not in the negative. All of those things will help you so that you're able to speak the language of the unconscious mind. But to couple that with faith and feeling and emotion. Emotion is what drives us. Emotion is what makes it seem like it's real. So one of the things that can be a powerful tool for you is the process of writing your goals on a daily basis and ingraining it as a driving mission for your life. And by reviewing it on a daily basis, it engages the subconscious to assist you in that process, so all of a sudden it becomes effortless and easy. Now, a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions as it relates to the law of attraction. The law of attraction really is nothing more than engaging the subconscious to assist you in facilitating your goals. And by doing that, it sends out energy, and all of the things that assist you in reaching your goals are brought into your awareness because your unconscious mind is continually seeking for those things. And so one of the processes that I use in my life is a process of affirmations, whether it be recorded affirmations that I listen to or written affirmations. Another thing I use is hypnosis, and there's a bunch of other things that you can do. But basically, keep it simple and keep reviewing it and identify when you start running into those blocks. Because those blocks are going to be the clues to know that you're running into friction. Anytime you know you want to do something, but you feel like you're riding with your brakes, that's when you step back and ask these questions. Number one, what are the beliefs that I have that are keeping me from moving towards my goals? What are the beliefs that are coming up for me? And you keep rewinding back and identify and create awareness around what those beliefs actually are. The second question is, what are the beliefs that I need to have to be able to actually do these things in my life? So by asking yourself and being able to see clearly what are the beliefs that are holding you back, then you're able to create awareness. And awareness, clarity is power, because then you can have a choice in reframing and restructuring some new goals. And there's a whole series that we're going to create of training. And part of the Live Big Breakthrough process is really helping you understand how to work with your mind rather than fighting against your mind, how to make sure that you can drive with your gas pedal down and go full throttle. But it's really a process of just understanding, what is the language of the mind and what are the beliefs that have held you back in the past and how to reprogram those. So by reprogramming those beliefs, all of a sudden the conscious mind and the unconscious mind are going to be in alignment, and you're going to be able to move forward towards your goals really fast. So here's your goal. Go ahead and rewrite your goals, the one that you said, that vision, in a way that it's powerful, present, and productive, just like we talked about. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and identify what are the beliefs that I've had in the past that have kept me from getting these things in my life. What are the beliefs that I've had in my life? For instance, that I'm not good enough, or that I don't know enough, or that if I do this, I'll be rejected, whatever it might be. Identify what those beliefs have been in the past, and then go ahead and spend some time and write down, okay, these are the beliefs that I need to have. What do I need to believe to be able to actually achieve that vision? So go ahead and take some time to do this. Take time to do this. Otherwise, this will just be a lot of information and you'll probably forget it anyway. So if you do it, all of a sudden it becomes part of your life and it'll accelerate you on that path towards reaching your goals. Ready? Get ready. This is where the game begins to change for you. And as you reprogram that subconscious and create alignment between the two, this is how you unlock your power. So this is Gerald Rogers reminding you, you have one life to live. Live it well.